So Tim, can I ask you,
Yeah.
Tim? I'm just gonna say this just to start off. There is a special place in hell for
Mhm.
people who don't tip,
Oh,
especially under circumstances where the expectation is that you'll tip. I just think it's one of the um, it's blasphemy to me. That like when I think of blasphemy, I'm like, don't be racist, don't be gayist, and if you don't tip, I don't know you.
and don't be fat phobic.
Don't be fatphobic and tip your people.
Tip everything you can, honestly.
I, you know,
Don't be shafted by anybody.
the people on these delivery apps who, first off, let's just put this out there. If you're one of those people who don't tip up front and don't understand why your order isn't getting picked up, it's because the person on the other end is saying that they're going to make $2.50 off this order. That's going to take them 45 minutes to go pick up and drop off. And they're not picking up your food because they're not spending 45 minutes for $2. I know you're saying it's like, I tipped them afterward. I'm like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And that just is what it is. So I'm throwing
Well,
that
my
out.
thing is like you can change the tip.
You
If
can change the tip if you
and that's
want
okay.
to.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying like if I can see the argument for somebody to be like, I tip after because you never know like if they're gonna mess up my order or something like that.
Yep.
But you can change the tip. So
Yes.
that argument is null and void. So
Yeah, no, exactly. You can put up front what you're willing to pay for it.
yeah.
And assuming everything goes great, awesome. If something doesn't go great, you do have an hour to edit.
Yeah.
So the amount of
No
I don't know.
tipping.
I know you've worked in customer service before, but you never worked
Absolutely.
in food. You didn't work in like food, did you?
I worked in food for 3 days
Okay.
and I said, no, this isn't me.
This is not
This
what I
is
want to
not
do.
me. My spirit, it can't take serving people in that way and like still being a good person. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not built for that. Like for somebody to curse me out and I still like make sure their food is prepared correctly.
Yep. Yeah. I have been front of house, waiter, back of house. I've supervised, coffee shops. And you just people and their food and any level of understanding or compassion just seems to go out the door. And as somebody who gets hangry, I get it, but I don't take that out on the service workers.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm definitely not that person that goes in and says like, this is the tip I'm gonna give them, and everything they do wrong, I'm gonna take away $1. I know people like that. It's like it's just evil. It's just evil. I can't stand it.
It's just because unfortunately we're in a country that does not afford everybody the same uh pay when it comes to certain jobs.
Yep.
And so tipping is very important. I think that people forget that these people sometimes get $0 checks. Like
Yeah.
they get a check with 0.00 on it and they're expected to live a full and whole life.
1 second. That was so weird. As you were talking, there was something very loud in the background going on, and then you stopped talking and it stopped.
I was hoping that nobody was hearing that. Upstairs,
Uh-huh.
I think they're doing something with water.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So,
That's okay.
but yeah, I think that people aren't aware enough of the woes of being a worker in food service.
Yeah, I think and even food service is so specific because of the wage aspect and the expectation of tipping. But I think I definitely have that mindset that I think everybody, like, there used to be a draft.
Yeah.
I definitely have the idea that everybody should be required to work in customer service for like 90 days consecutively before their 21st birthday. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to go and do that job. Like,
listen, we don't want to go through what I think that everybody needs to go through.
well,
I think so. I think men especially need to go through a lot of different things.
Yeah, they do.
Before they, maybe that can be a part of their Ivy League experience. But it is appalling what people will allow to happen to their waiters and hostess and bartenders, and be like, oh well, they chose this job. No, some people can't get no other job.
Yeah.
At the time, I mean, and even if they could, that doesn't like make it okay.
No, and it's a job that we need filled. Otherwise, nobody's going anywhere and eating anything.
Well, and not only that, like, just to go back to like the app delivery services, girl, thank God for y'all, because I can't tell you, out of the 90 days that I've been here, probably 80 of them, I have gotten an app delivery service.
Yep.
And I generally, I do feel bad because I don't tip the 20%, but that's because it's a lot. Like, like I'm not tipping $40. Like, I just can't. I can't afford to do that. But I do tip. I try to tip at least 10 to 15%.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't have the expectation of like,
because I know the gas money is a thing. Like, and because I'm very fortunate that I can take my shower while somebody is going to get my food for me. Like, that is very nice to experience. And so I feel like I had well, I don't know if they're like this now, but I did have a lot of friends when they first started becoming like bigger, that they wouldn't tip. Like, and I was just like, why are you not tipping? Like, why are you not doing that? Like, the whole point is that they're giving you a service.
Right.
And I personally did Uber, not Uber Eats, but I did Uber. And I did Uber around the city in 2015, and it was very sad the amount of money that I spent versus how much I actually got.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if that's your gig, girl, if you don't like the tip or whatever, may you die. But like, otherwise, I just hope that everybody gets the money that they deserve in some other way if they don't get it through a tip. Okay. Tip your people.
Tip your people.
Don't shaft them.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Okay, what's our topic today, Tim?
Well, a lot of times I find myself Uber eating out of loneliness, which is the topic. Because food sometimes keeps me from feeling it fully. I'm working through it, people. Yes.
Working through it.
So the topic is loneliness and the things that we can do to acknowledge it, maybe help with it, but also just understand that it's a part of life sometimes.
That's right. So why don't we get into it, Tim?
Sure. Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Bear, and this is Cub
and Chub.
Hi, everybody.
I'm so lonely.
It's the loneliest hour. I'm so sorry.
1 is the loneliest number.
Especially with this grilled cheese. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
Hey, girls.
Hello, Timothy.
Girls.
So,
Look
Tim,
at the community.
So Tim, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about this week, and you had mentioned, maybe talking about something around loneliness. And think you mentioned to our audience on a previous episode that you're currently working through a breakup.
Yes.
And yeah, I wanted to let you kind of riff on that and where you're at mentally and talk a little bit.
Well, I mean, I told y'all I'm going through a breakup, feeling like a chafed booty hole, and I, among other reasons, that just are life. I This particular breakup kind of just like heightened my sense of loneliness because I still view them as a friend and I love them as such. Um, but it's also June, which is not a great month for me. My parents and brother died in June. So I am dealing with a lot of like feeling just like nobody really understands
Mm-hmm.
um the my life and how I move and you know everybody says you're strong and I really I you're such a light and stuff like that, and that's because I move through a lot of darkness in my life, and it it sometimes can be a little harder to move than others.
Yeah. Does this happen like every June since they passed? Is it pretty much the same process for you? Has it gotten any different since time has passed?
I won't say that it's every June, but it is this particular one. I honestly don't know why. It just feels like a little more um on my heart and on the surface of
Well,
things.
yeah. I mean, that tragedy happening, going through a breakup, and a crappy season 8. I mean,
Yeah, girl, nothing. Like Heidi was like, "I'm out," and I was like, "I feel you, girl.
I'm
Like,
there
I feel
too.
you. This life, I want to be out sometimes, but like,
Yeah.
I really, and also, I feel like a lot of other people have been down too. Like a
Mm,
lot of my podcasts, like, have been very heavy,
sure.
and I'm not saying that you can't feel that way because here we are on a podcast talking about
Yeah.
the subject, but like it's just I'm somebody who feeds off of energies,
You
and
are.
sometimes um I can look too deeply into somebody's energy and like get to get to the sads of it.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and so like I've just been feeling very lonely. Also, the type of work that I um do is it's travel work, and that traveling is by myself.
Yeah.
I don't have I don't really have a lot of ties, which is great for this type of job, but like after I get off work and go to my apartment, um during the week it can be very lonely.
Yeah.
And that loneliness sometimes snowballs before I can get to the weekend. And then it turns into like, now there's 2 days I'm in the bed.
Yeah.
Like, so, um, but fortunately I combat that with this podcast, and the friends and support system that I have. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything that you didn't know before, but where you were traveling to previously, when you told me
Yeah.
where you were going, I was like, I was happy for you to get out and like do something on your own,
Yeah.
but also having been your bestie this whole time, I'm like, I don't know if I love him in a space where he don't know nobody, right? Like
Yeah.
you need your isolation, but you are a social being. Like
Yeah. I do.
You do, yeah, you feed off of that energy, and I think it's usually easier for you when you're around people you know and trust. And
True. And it
um
was a learning curve. That was a learning
oh
curve for
yeah.
me completely. And I appreciate that for what it was. I don't appreciate, the house that I
Oh
was
god.
staying in. I really think that Terry, do not blink that out. You can go to whatever type of hell that there actually is, um, because it'll be ready for you when you get there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just like people should tip, landlords take care of your people. Take care of your tenants.
yes, believe your people. And Airbnb don't just give me no damn. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. The point is, loneliness is real, and
Loneliness as well. I think part of me also hoped, Tim, that when you moved to a place that was closer where we could get to each other and be in a space where we know people, I think
yeah,
there was also I was also hoping that some of the isolation I knew you were dealing with where you were would maybe subside. And
yeah.
I got up there and we went out and we had a good night, and you were
I
in your
went,
space. You were
yeah,
seeing people who hadn't seen you in years.
yeah, and I had a moment where I did like feel my oats and go out, and then it kind of like dissipated
Right.
when things went south and sour.
Sure.
Um, but like it's just one of those things where it's like I I am I'm as much to blame as, life. I could go out. I could have a good time with people. I'm just choosing like to wallow. But
But I think, I mean, there's something in, like, I don't know if I don't want to say it's wallowing, but it is like there's something about when you're in this mindset and needing to repair.
yeah.
Because some of it is wallowing and feeling sad for yourself, I'm sure, because I go through that too. But some of it is also like, just getting out and getting in front of people might be helpful and might help disrupt what's happening in my brain. But it also, depending on where you're at, you're not ready to do that or give that energy
Yeah.
to other people. Because
Exactly.
when I don't want to socialize and I really can't put it on, you don't want me around.
No.
I'm not any
You
fun.
absolutely do not want me around being
No.
anything less than like chipper,
Yeah.
because it's going to ruin your time.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I've gotten up to a point in my life that like I can't fake it no more. It's not like, and I don't want to fake it. And I just feel like they were like, "Do you want to come out? Please come out." Well, if I come out and you have this uncomfortable energy, don't say, "Oh, don't feel sad. Don't do this, girl. It is what it is. You're gonna feel it."
Right.
Like I didn't want to come out, like so. This is on you.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody like trying to make me feel better or whatever, but it's just not gonna happen until it does. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but in loneliness, we can we can find like good parts of it. There's times when you need to be alone and like
Oh yeah.
figure out your things. But then there are times like right now that I probably am doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing, or that only aid in me feeling the
That
loneliness.
feed into it. Yeah.
Yeah, like social media. Social media sucks.
I was gonna say that's a good transition. Yeah. Are you, when you're in this space, like, what are your social media habits when you're in this kind of
Girl,
mindset? Like, what are you doing
I
that's
just want to let you know that my Apple phone, my iPhone,
uh-huh.
it told me that I had been on my phone for 10 hours a
Oh
day,
wow.
weekly.
Yeah.
That means that out of the maybe like 15 hours that I'm awake, 10 of them are scrolling, are, mindlessly I don't know, looking at random pictures of the past in my own like camera roll, or listening. And some of it is me listening to my own music because I adore my music. It's really good. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. But it's me.
It's
and
worth
I
listening.
enjoy me.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's just mindlessly scrolling.
So for me last year when I was struggling with my, anxiety returning and putting on a lot of weight, I became obsessive with podcasts. I've always like enjoyed listening to podcasts, but I needed the constant audio distraction to get out of my head.
Yeah.
So it definitely wasn't a healthy behavior, but it was it was keeping me like, it was getting me out of bed. Like if I could listen to my podcast, I'll do it and like mow the lawn.
Yeah.
I'll do that and like do the kitchen. I'll blast it in my car and like go do something. Like I had to keep those voices at bay to get going. I listened to all of Sibling Rivalry, their entire 4-year catalog.
Yeah.
Multiple times last year.
Yeah.
I knew what time of year. I knew what the topic was. I could repeat what they were saying.
You are a Patreon exclusive member.
I am, and I still am. Love support.
Bro, I don't even do that, but I'm black. So.
Yeah, that's right. I'm giving my dues. But that audio disruptors, right?
Yeah.
What are we doing to disrupt the loneliness or anxiety or whatever? And I had to have something going because when I got quiet, I immediately was in my brain, in my head. So no, like I wasn't scrolling maybe for 10 hours, but my podcast listening, I was in the top 1% of podcast listeners last year. Like at the end, top 1. There are
in America,
there are 8
in the
billion,
United States.
There are 8 billion people on this planet, and most of them have access to Spotify servers.
Wow.
It was anyway. So no, I get it. That distraction and just dealing with that piece of it, and
well, it's also like feeling. I can understand that feeling like you have somebody around. Like you kind of have friends in your head.
That parasocial connection, man. Like, Crystal and Kid Fury are like buddies I spend 2 hours a week with for 6 years, and with Bob and Monet like on a constant loop for 6 months. And then going and seeing them live with you and Kevin, I was like, my friends are in town. I know them. I know it's not true, but
to like, I think like the amount of hours that you spend making a great friend is 200 hours.
Well,
so like you have a great friend in
Bob and
Exchange and Bob the Drag Queen.
That's right. All the time I spent with these two hoes. God.
All the time I spend with them, and I have never listened to The Bald and the Beautiful.
I know.
But I see them all the time.
Yep, they're always in my face.
I'm always on YouTube. This screen, this TV in here, it's always looking at something, looking at Bianca ruin the pit stop. But
I am pro Bianca on pit stop. I know, and I'm saying this as somebody who misses Bob.
I need Bob the Drag Queen.
I think Bob and Trixie are just have that down. Bianca, who I did not have a relationship with at all before pit stop. I didn't watch her. I didn't listen to her. I haven't seen her season yet. I still haven't gone back. I watched season 6.
That's a great season.
I didn't know Bianca. I just knew her as the queen that nobody else hangs out with. Like, she's too good for us. So I was like, oh, she's kind of snobby bitch. I love her. Like, and I only know her through pit stop. So maybe my bar's just really low. See, we keep doing this, Tim. This is not a drag race.
Fine.
Podcast.
It's not a drag race podcast, but when you're lonely, drag race is there.
Drag race
with
is
all
there.
These seasons. Like
so many.
so many places that drag race is in now.
Yeah.
Drag Race Italiana, I've never seen it because
Drag
it's
Race Belgium.
yeah,
What's it say?
Holland,
Holland.
like Thailand.
France.
Huh. I don't like the France because
I haven't checked that one yet. I
I
think I
don't
might
like
check
Mickey
out.
Doll.
I think I might check out Mexico.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking out Mexico.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry, guys.
Valentina. But anyway,
We'll be right back. Valentina.
loneliness.
Loneliness. That's right.
Mom. Yeah, so we're back, girls.
Hello.
Aren't you happy? Um, so I don't know about you, Bear, but I really think that there's a difference between when I'm lonely as a single person versus like when I'm lonely in a relationship.
Sure.
Because of the nature of my job, I am I'm not next to my partner at all times. So
Yeah.
that I do get lonely and even when I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
But do you ever feel that or do you feel a difference?
The loneliness in a relationship is really, really weird because I do experience that. In fact, I experienced it yesterday. So I was helping my friends who moved into town, get out of their moving truck, all that fun stuff. And the partner was out teaching a class. And then I was going to come back and we're going to hang out for a minute. And then his friends, they have like a board game thing they do most Saturdays. So that's really his group of friends. They invite me over. They're very kind. But I was thinking I might go over and hang out with them. But then after moving everybody, I just needed some downtime. So I stayed home. Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm going to go play games with my friends. I'm like, that's cool. I'm going to stay here and take a nap and just kind of, heal up a little bit. But what ended up happening is that like I took a nap and I woke up and like I was like, oh, I'll go watch a movie. I'll go do something. I'll get out. And I just sat on the couch from like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like he was out playing games, with his friends. And I remember I was sitting there. I was like, it's illogical for me to feel lonely. You know what I mean? Like he invited me to come with him and do this thing with him and his friends.
Yeah.
And I chose to stay home because I can get into it a little bit, but the games they are playing, they're so heady and so advanced. It's just like, it's not fun for me to sit there and feel like I'm going like, so what's the rules? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm that guy.
You don't want to be that person.
I don't want to be that person. I feel like I'm bringing the fun down every time I say like, wait a minute, what's going on? So I just don't participate. So, but they always invite me. They're very sweet, but he's out there doing that. I'm just at home. I'm like, I could go do something. I'm like, I'm just going to wait for my partner. So it's that thing where it's like, even in the relationship, and we are very independent people. We have our own friend groups.
Very important.
So, yeah. No, it's important and it's healthy and I'm happy for that. But there are those moments where it's like sometimes I feel like I'm the one who's more social and he's a little bit more introverted. And then we get into these roles where it's like, you got all these friends around here who just want to hang out with you and do stuff. And I'm like, that seemed nice. I'll just be, so I still find loneliness even in the relationship at times. But some of that are my own habits, right? Those mental blocks that I've built up about what it means to be in a relationship. I think a lot of the examples of people in marriages show an example of people who don't have very close friends.
Yeah.
Right. Your partner is also your best friend. And
it's like, oh, you have to be like perfect for each other almost.
Right. And like maybe they have the one other couple friend that they hang out with or go to eat with every so often.
But they're both friends.
But we're all friends together. We don't have friends outside of our relationship and so there is that part of me that I think at times slips into that mindset that if he's out with his people and I don't have anybody with me, then like somehow that's not good. Do you know what I mean? Like that training you get when you see the example and you're like, oh, is this not healthy or something? And I don't believe that, but sometimes that methodical, like kind of that thing that's been ingrained in you from day one is like,
Yeah.
oh, is this something I need to question? It's like, no, just get off the couch. So I, so, so, so I do
My
find
mom
it.
used to say, "You're not busy enough. You're thinking too much."
Yeah, you're thinking too much, right? So yeah. So I when I was single, I spent so much time isolated. When I moved away and I was living on my own, and there was a lot of loneliness in there. But I found a lot of ways to. I found a lot of like meaning in the work I was doing. I did a lot of
Yeah.
writing with my music, so I think it feels different. But I also feel like the kind of person that if I'm gonna find my purpose or my path some way,
Yeah.
whether that's believing in the paycheck I'm getting and putting my all there or expressing myself. But it is different. The difference
Yeah.
between like being single and being in a relationship, I think there are lonely times in both. It's just how you handle it. So,
Yeah.
what about you?
For me, I think like I'm I'm single more often than I'm in a relationship.
Mhm.
So for me, I can deal with the notion that I'm single and a little lonely. I can be like, oh, well, go and do this and go and do that. But for some reason, probably because I'm not in relationships very much or long, I I have a problem when I'm like, why am I lonely? I have somebody. And like, it doesn't mean that they're always there or like
Yeah.
that they have their life and things that they're going on. And I think I'm just like I'm more baffled than I'm feeling lonely. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell am I in a relationship? But like you said, I think we are bombarded with this rhetoric very early on that like your partner is your rib or whatever, and you have to be next to them and feel feel like they complete you in some way. And if they're not with you at all times, then you're not complete.
Right.
You're a
Right.
complete person. Like,
Yeah.
and you should have a complete life outside of that, and that should just enhance your life. And I think I just don't cue into loneliness properly. Like I feel like sometimes my loneliness actually means that there's a void that I can feel with something. Like
Hmm.
maybe I should like call my aunt. Maybe I should, talk to Bear about the podcast. Maybe I should be um working out or something like that. Like I do have things that I probably should be focusing on, but I'm choosing to focus on the fact that I'm lonely.
Yeah.
Um and I think that this is in real time, people. I'm finding that maybe I need to focus on what I can do to um to alleviate some of this like sadness and loneliness and stuff, because there are opportunities for me that I can take, um but like I said, I'm choosing the feeling right now, but that doesn't mean I'm always going to choose it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like feeling lonely in a relationship, um is, like I said, it's a little bit baffling because I'm like, oh, I'm in a relationship. Like, why do I feel lonely? I was like, well, sometimes you just are, sometimes you're just alone. Like, by definition,
Yeah.
you are alone right at that moment, and it's okay to feel lonely. But then other times, you're feeling lonely out of like a, it's like a cue that you could be doing something else.
Yeah.
Like that you could be like, it's like, oh, you want to feel it in this way, but you probably should be feeling your void in this way, you know?
Yeah.
Like your partner isn't your all. Like maybe you should find something that's going to completely you in some other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, and we can edit this out if you want to. I understand. I'll pick a little bit. Do you? I know a number of your relationships recently have been lost long distance.
Mhm.
Do you feel that, from a loneliness standpoint, that would look or feel different if they were like in your space every day? Like, do you? How do you think that might change the approach to that relationship or your feeling of loneliness?
Um, in the relationships that I've had where it wasn't long distance,
Mm-hmm.
I felt suffocated.
Mm.
I felt like, and maybe it's just because like I was also I felt complete in my own right. You know what I mean? Like I had a lot going on,
Yeah.
and this relationship was just an addition.
Right.
And they weren't. They didn't have anything else going on, and so they were calling and um trying to be a part of all of it too quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and so I kind of felt suffocated in that. So, and because of the nature of work that I do now, it's kind of hard for me to have a relationship that will ever be, like
Yeah.
right next to one another because I'm not supporting a man. I'm not
Yeah.
into that. And like I guess like little 3 month relationships could be cute, but
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know how I don't know how it would work with with my job right now to have um a non long distance relationship.
Yeah. I
But yeah,
got you.
yeah, I don't know. It's cute. It's cool. That's all I have to say about it. It's cute.
No, I think I was. It makes sense because, again, like the type of work you're doing, you would make that difficult.
Yeah.
Um, I think part of me is wondering, like, the chicken or the egg. So are you? There's a loneliness issue,
Yeah.
but you've also put yourself in some situations where it makes it harder to make connections at times.
Yeah.
So
It's yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it is a double-edged sword. It's like, do I want to be poor
yeah,
and unhappy with my financial life, or do I want love? Like, so,
right,
like it, and my thing is, love don't pay the light bill, and
it don't.
and in my experiences, when I have had those relationships that are short distance or with I'm with the person often, um it is a suffocating situation,
Yeah.
and or uh, uh, I don't know, it's never, or they stole my credit, like so, like it's one or the other, like for me in my life experiences,
Yeah.
fuck Clive for life. But it's just one of those things where it's like, I think until I get financially like independent without like needing a job like I have now, maybe being single is what I'm supposed to do right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I will say it does get lonely. But it also, I think my loneliness is like tiered.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it's not just the breakup. It's like I miss my mom and I miss my dad and I
Yeah.
can't believe this is my life sometimes. And I'm like, or I make plans with somebody, it falls through, or I want to make plans but they can't because they have things to do.
You know who you are.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What?
Um, Or, like, I think being older than your 20s is very hard for friendships.
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I'm not in my 30s yet, so
I know you're almost in your 40s. But
only because you drop in birth dates on this
I
podcast.
don't know anything about that. It was bleeped out. It never happened.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Editor Bear.
uh-huh. Well, Tim, let me ask you this: how obviously there's a lot of depression and sadness when we talk about loneliness, and how we try to
and stuff like that.
and trying to
They
wade
can-
through those waters. How might you find a silver lining in that though? Like, what are some things that maybe you benefit from being isolated at times and
Well, yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get to earlier. Is like there are times when your loneliness are actually cues to you that there's a void in your life that you need to fill. And it's not always with people, it's not food, whatever your vice might be. It's actually a cue to your upward movement in life. Maybe it's, maybe you could start a podcast with your best friend and get to see them weekly. Or, maybe it is, I'm not feeling my best. Let's start working out, or, whatever, finding something that's a passion in your life that you can feel that loneliness with, because a lot of times we misplace energy in our body.
and G.
Yes, in G. Yeah, Beyonce. We talk about Beyonce.
We do talk about Beyonce. Oh my gosh, we have like 4 weeks, Tim.
Oh my
it's like
God.
countdown to the Renaissance. Sorry.
Listen, with this loneliness, I really need to be getting in the motherfucking gym, and not to the point of getting like skinny or anything, but
The
just
goal is
being
not
able
skinny.
to dance full out for 3 hours. That's what I need. I need endurance.
We need to work on our endurance.
Yeah.
This is true. I mean, we can leave it to a 2-step from time to time if we need to catch our breath, but then we got to get right back.
No, we have to like get in the 1, 2, 3. Like, it's a thing. Like, we need to clacks.
Clack, clack, clack.
Yes, it's very important. We need to find out what, like, there are things that I know that I should be cueing in by feeling this way. I need to be focused on what outfit I'm going to wear for Beyonce, what, the gas money. I need to be looking at my savings, seeing if it's appropriate to buy every single thing that is at least a 4X Beyonce at the tour. Please have
What's her business called? The park?
Ivy Park.
Ivy Park. To whoever's running Ivy Park and taking care of the
and
quantities,
Parkwood Entertainment.
make sure you got some sizes for everybody, please.
Please, like, listen, Parkwood Entertainment has sometimes excluded the big girls.
They have.
And that's not fair. Like we have just as much money as our thinner archetypes, if not more, because we are lonely at home with no man. So if you, like, I know you're a businesswoman. Like, don't you want our fat ass dollars? I know you do. Lizzo already told you it's about that time. Like, give it to us.
In the year of our Lord 2023, I cannot understand brands like Beyonce's that.
Why is there only a 2X for these things?
So weird.
And it's a little 2X. It's like it is like it's like, I guess what a 2X really should be, but still, like, it's not a big boy 2X.
So part of the issue, right? Let's talk about sales and data. Some of the issue is that they don't know how many 4Xs to order because they don't have sales history to understand what they're going to over order, right? So instead of putting their money there and seeing what happens so they have trend history, they just don't spend the money. And it's like, we will spend the money.
Not to mention, there are a shit ton of skinny ass whores who want oversized clothes.
Yeah, that's right. Not everybody's looking. Yeah.
Some people want to belt some shit. Like they like it's so it's rude, it's disrespectful, and like I really appreciate that this album is made for the queer community, but there are big girls here too.
It's weird. They want it. They will buy it.
Yeah.
There are people
we have expendable accounts for
we are in our 30s and our 40s. We are ready to
have
spend
made
our
a
money.
savings account for Beyonce.
We got ready for you. Come with the merchandise.
We're almost in Club Renaissance. Like we have the money.
We are a row away from the Renaissance.
And that's only because they decided they wanted to be there. I was ready for Club Renaissance.
Don't you put that evil on us.
That was them on him.
Oh, no.
They had their savings accounts and I had mine. What I'm saying is now that I'm not in Club Renaissance, and that's fine. I love being with my friends where they are. But like I have even more money to give you for a 4X like jacket, tour jacket, fans. I don't know why I can't find a fan that's made by Parkwood. It's so
weird.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like that yellow hoodie that I had, made by somebody on Etsy. I shouldn't have to go on Etsy. Right. I want to give you the money.
Right. But
it is what it is. If you want to isolate the big community, as we do feel sometimes, I'm not calling you out. I'm calling you in to a.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling you in to a oversight of money that you could be making.
Yeah.
Because the big girls want the hair, because guess what? Big girls love hair. Now, we have the Megan Goods who love to cut their hair and have like their face showing. But some big girls, we have like long, luscious hair. And we want to support you with your hair journey and your hair products that you're going to have coming out. But we won't be looking for it if we know not to even go to the website, because you're not going to have anything for us.
Yeah.
So there's that. Love you, B. Truly. Like, I definitely want you to just rain down whatever. Throw that, that little dab, the dab of sweat that she throws, the little thing. Throw it far enough for me to get it. Because once again, I'm not in Club Renaissance.
We're gonna pull Kevin in here. We're gonna have a family discussion about your rudeness. We'll be right back. Love
you, Kevin.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hola. I'm not Spanish or Hispanic in any type of way, people.
Well, the library is closed. Tim's been throwing shade this entire podcast. You guys have been
never. It was no. I don't think it was shade. It was just it's a proven fact that I'm not in Club Renaissance.
Family meeting after this podcast.
Oh my god,
Tim. Tim, who we shout out this week?
I want to shout out my beloved brother Kevin. He's so wonderful. I love him so much. I also want to shout out my new traveling besties, Tanisha and Toya, and special shout out to Roseanne. She wasn't there yesterday, but they've become my support system in this lonelier world that I'm living, and I really adore them, and they're cool people. So hey
Nice.
y'all. Like I said, hope you're listening. If not, okay. What about you?
I'm gonna shout out one of our listeners slash one of our friends. So
Yes.
this weekend, I mentioned earlier that I helped a couple friends who I've known since college. They moved to the area. Welcome to the Greater Richmond area, Jared and Lisa. Hello.
Oh my God.
But was helping them move into their house and ran into a friend that we haven't seen in a while, Aaron.
Oh, he's so
Yeah. Aaron's such a
cute.
cutie pie, so sweet. And so got to catch up with him, was helping him, he was helping with unloading the truck and we're catching up a little bit. And he goes, "Oh, by the way, love the podcast." I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah,
Wait
you
a
and Tim
minute, he's listening.
he listens." And he goes, "You and Tim are so funny." And I said, "Oh, thanks, Aaron." And so it was just really sweet. Like, again, he's such a sweetie pie anyway. And the fact that he listens and enjoys spending time with us, I just thought that was really sweet. So shout out to Aaron.
Shout out, unload my truck anytime you want to. Aw.
And his wife Rosemary, if you also are listening, hello. I'm not sure. I don't know if you're also a listener, but if you are, hello. And it was great seeing you yesterday. And yeah, they're great. So
love the couple.
All right, Tim, what's making you live this week?
What's making me live is the fact that I vocalized about loneliness. Because it's true and I'm feeling it. But saying it out loud helps. And I'm saying this because I forgot what I said I was going to be living for. Oh, girl, call that shit.
Wait,
what I'm living for is the fact that I went to go see The Little Mermaid.
Oh, nice!
It was so good, girl. I went with you.
I know. I was waiting for you to mention the Doms. I wasn't sure if you switched them up or whatever, and then I was like, "Oh, he's gonna go with something different."
Girl,
it's okay.
That's what it was. Okay.
It's all right.
Just what I'm living for are the Ladoms, girl. If you don't know who they are the I guess the fans, the stands for Karen Hugert of the Housewives of Potomac. I just love Karen Hugert. I think she's a mess. I think she's like the epitome of the type of seasoned woman I will become one day. And I just live for her fans and stands. And I hope that y'all can come on over here. Just let, if any of y'all who are fans of ours, who are also Ladom stands, let them know that we love them. We want them over here as well. So
very nice.
Yeah, shout out Ladoms. Who you shout out?
Actually, what I'm living for.
What are you living for? Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Hey there, what are you living for?
Thank you. I'm living for FX's The Bear. Not just because it has my name, but it is a wonderful TV show, and its second season, it just premiered a couple weeks ago. But it's so good. It's one of those like really great dramedies that when you watch a lot of TV and movies that have high stakes, it's like the world and there's a bomb or whatever. It's really nice just to watch a show that's really kind of in its own little box and the stakes are what they are. The acting is amazing. The music is amazing. Is it giving like Schitt's Creek love, or is it like no, it's not that light. It's a bit heavier. Okay. I think it's not shameless, eccentric. But it is more like family drama comedy. Okay. But it's 30 minutes. It's a really quick bite. I got through the entire season last year. I want to say the weekend. It was one day. Let's not lie. But it was 10 episodes. It's so good. So check out The Bear if you're looking for really good TV. 5 hours. Yeah, really good TV. And also it's about like food. So there's really like pretty pictures of food and them cooking as they work through these storylines. Oh, so I need to like order some Uber Eats. I would not go into that show hungry. Yeah, it's gonna go mess yourself up. So
got you. Tip your people.
Tip your people. Tim, where can people find us?
You can find us anywhere you can find ketamine. In the gay clubs, you can find us online. Christian Mingle.
Oh,
You can find us
wow.
in Congress, I'm sure. You can find us in the back alleys of Massachusetts Avenue. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us in your mom's living room if you play us on YouTube.
Yay!
But most importantly, you can find us at cubandchub.com.
That's
it's our
right.
website. You can love it as much as we do.
That's right. And if you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at wearecubandchub@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. Ask us a question. We love to be stupid and just answer your mail. So please let us know.
I love talking to y'all because some of y'all are really funny and other of y'all are just dumb. So it is crazy. And I mean dumb in like the loving way.
Yeah. No, I got you. And if you send us a comment on TikTok, Tim might try to date you. You don't know.
I might try to sit on it. Hello.
Every week.
And I know.
I love you. It's so good to talk to you. All of our listeners, thank you so much.
There is here with you. I am not here no more. I'm gonna say bye to you, whores. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Girl, y'all need to be listening to the whole episode because
y'all want some Drag Race? So what'd you think of the roast this week, Tim, on Drag Race?
Girl, I thought it was roasted. I thought it was toasted. I thought it was this is the best episode of the season, and that's saying something.
I was about to say, I actually really enjoyed it.
But did you enjoy it, or did you just like be like, well, I guess we're just gonna get trashed? So it's like finding the really good smelling banana peel in the trash. Like,
oh no, I thought besides Alexis, who got a couple chuckles, I thought they were very funny. I was very happy with the jokes. I thought it was good.
I thought it was fine. I thought it, like the roast itself, it was fine. This season, no, like it's not gonna be something I want to go back to.
No.
Maybe, you know what? Actually, it may be something I go back to in 2 years and be like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Maybe I'm more interested in the content around the season.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah,
the drama that's happening not on the season.
Yeah,
is much better.
Yeah,
than the actual season itself.
Yeah, and that I agree with. I think this probably was one of the stronger episodes because these people can deliver some jokes. They have some rhythm. Yeah. They're most of them are performers again, except for Alexis, the Broadway theater kid.
Should be a performer, but she's just awkward.
She's just so awkward.
I feel like she just wants to screw everybody too.
Well, I mean, that's fine. You can want to sleep with everybody, but be entertaining. But you know what I mean, like,
okay, so like, do you ever have that friend that like, they want to screw everybody and it just makes everything awkward?
We have that friend. Keep going.
and it just like sullies everything. You're just like, ugh. Like,
yes.
we're all friends. We want to have a good time, but you're not being friendly. You're trying to like poke and prod and see what you can get.
Yeah.
And then, everything's not about race, but the
Uh-huh.
idea that you're the queen that you wanted to fuck the most, Lala Reed, saved you last week, and decide that you want to let her go, but you still hope that you can get that. That says something. Like that's a lot.
It's a lot. And and she dropped that tweet the next day saying if I could change my decision I would. And I'm like, you have no conviction. You have
None
no
at all.
spine. Like
None. And
it,
why would I want like as Lala Reed, why would I want to fuck or be fucked by that? Like
yeah.
that kind of no confidence, no nothing. No wonder you need to be fisted because you have no spine.
I think I mean Candy Muse, for example, Candy is great TV. She's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I don't know that I'd want to spend most of my time with her. I think if that was a full-time job being with her and what I assume is her TV personality, I would get it
Yeah.
would be too abrasive for me. But it's great television, right?
Yeah.
It's like even if Alexis, it's like your TV personality is spineless. And that is just so like, oh man, I
And
do
I
not
really
care.
think that that's her.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I
Because
think she is who she is,
if
and
it comes across in 2 seasons, then
yeah.
it's
As
pretty bad.
somebody who wants everybody to like them and recognize that that's what's happening with Alexis, I'm like, you're giving us a bad name, girl. You gotta own some of this.
But she didn't even say that. She said, "I fear Candy,"
Oh, she
which is
fears Candy, which
I'm
is
like,
oddly racist, like in a very weird
there's been a
way.
couple things that I'm just like, this could be like borderline,
Yeah, it's like, oh,
like this is giving older white woman, like, like,
yeah, I
like
can't.
just crying all the time for no reason. And
Yeah, Alexa's getting this far and like being this. And here's the other thing: I don't think she got this far because she doesn't have any talent. I think there's some other girls who are off sooner who were, from a drag standpoint, were not as
yeah,
far along as she was. But still, it's like, man, you got this far, and you. Ugh,
she got this
oh.
far because she just was aesthetically better at drag.
She did,
Like,
yeah. She puts on a good face, and when she's got a
yeah.
good outfit, she does look good. But
But
man, I
it's kind of like one of those things. They're a 10, but they cry all the time. They don't,
right,
follow through, and they suck.
right.
They're a 0. Like, it's like, and we should play that.
Right. That would be fun. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
I
fun.
want to. I want to play that. We need to make up some things.